Welcome to another mobile edition of Crime Time with DutyRon. Guys and girls, I'm a retired New York City police detective with 20 plus years of law enforcement. If you like all things true crime related from that police perspective, please consider hitting the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you will get all things DutyRon and Ed Wallace when we go live or upload another video. And today I'm going to talk about the escaped prisoner. I mean, this was a breakout. It was not, he did not escape. He had a partner in crime. We're talking about Vicky White and Casey White over in Lauderdale County, Alabama. He was broken out, I would say, broken out of the county jail with assistance from the assistant warden. She was a high-level transportation authority. She had quite a bit of leeway in creating rules and breaking rules, as we've come to find out. But before we get into it, I want to say a special thank you to the Patreon supporters, the channel members, and all the folks who positively engage in this community. You're what makes this a great place. And hello to Trucker Steve, I Love Labs, Matty Boy Sully, and all the mods and replay viewers. You guys are awesome. Good to see you, Jill, Fiberfloozy, Brenda is here. The Dolly Bird from the UK, Dana. Yeah, so the more that's happening here, let's get right into it. The more that is happening here and the more I'm seeing from some of the various outlets and some of the folks who live boots on the ground in that area and in that county, it looks like Vicky White, the Assistant Director of Corrections for Lauderdale County, the county jail, she planned this for quite a long time, and it looked like a sale of her home, a quick retirement, throwing her retirement papers in, and all of the surrounding things that happened. Hello from Dallas, Texas. All of the surrounding things that happened that led up to this breakout, this planned event, were indicative of somebody who was packing up their life and going. Who sells a home that's valued at $200,000+ at an auction just to get fast money and only receives about $91,000 to $95,000 for it? Who does something like that? That's somebody who is not thinking very sound and very straight. That's somebody who's planning something, right? She liquidated all of her assets and put her papers in on Thursday, and Friday was her last day, right? So if you're thinking long term, 16 years in the correction department, whether it's 16 or 17 years, that's not a long time. Albeit some people would say, oh yeah, that is a long time. But most correction officers, and we're going to talk to Anthony Gangi from Tier Talk tonight. I'm hoping that Connie Eileen and a couple of other corrections experts will join me tonight. You're going to hear from them that career in corrections usually lasts over 25 years. It's probably on the average 25 to 35 years in the United States. So to pull the plug at 16 or 17 years and liquidate everything that you have going on, it's just not common to see that. Now, what I want to talk to you about is 6'9", 280-pound Casey White, a very, very large person, very large, tall, and big guy, right? Who in their right mind in the correction field would authorize, even if it was the assistant director of corrections and the person who's in charge of scheduling transports, who in their right mind, whether you're a guy or a girl in that business, who in their right mind would say it's okay to have a solo female or even a solo male officer transport a guy that's 6'9", 270+ pounds, and has made several attempts in the past to get out of jail. He's been shanked in the past. He's got ties to white Aryan Nation type things that I'm reading about. This guy's a really, really bad guy. He was involved in a standoff with police and held hostages and whatnot. Everything that he has done in his past. Now, we always say past behavior is pretty much what you're going to get for present behavior. So this guy was not in jail and being reformed and becoming a great guy, you know? So who in their right mind would say, you know what, Vicky, yeah, we'll shackle up this prisoner, we'll shackle up Casey, we'll get him ready for you. And yeah, sure, go ahead and take him to court for a mental evaluation. We won't even check to see if he has a court date. Uh, there's so many things that things that make you go, things that make you go, something doesn't sound right here. Like, everything when on my live last night, I said to you guys, when we would transport prisoners from our precinct, from where I would lock them up, from our precinct to central booking, and that's taking them to corrections. When I would have to transport prisoners, and I had to do it quite a bit, from the precinct to central booking, which is downtown where the courts are. Now that's putting them in New York City corrections custody. We had to make an announcement to Central, the dispatch. Central, show me going to Brooklyn Central booking with 10 prisoners. Time is now 20, 30 hours. And then when we would get there, we would have to get back on the radio and say, this is Sector Adam. We're now present at the lodging. We're going to take our prisoners out. We're going to bring them in and we're going to lodge them. And then after we were done lodging them, there would be a third call where we would call back in, Central dispatch, be advised, we've successfully lodged 30 prisoners without incident, and now we're en route back to the station house. None of that happened here. I have a little piece of information, a little bit of media that I want to play for you guys. It's coming to you from, it's the most recent. It's coming to you from Alabama local, actually CNN affiliate, but it was updated at 10:28 a.m. this morning. And it's talking about a warrant that has been issued in Alabama for the correction officer who vanished with the inmate. So I'm going to play that for you. We're going to go full screen, play that little clip for you guys right now, and we'll be right back onto it.
Friday morning, the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Office says Assistant Director Vicky White told her coworkers she was taking inmate Casey White to the county courthouse for a mental health evaluation. Investigators say security video shows the pair never arrived at the court.
All right, just a second. I want to tell you. So what you guys are going to see right here is an actual look into the Lauderdale County courts and the jail. This is actually going to show you inside the lockup where Casey, where Casey was taken out of. So we're going to see what Vicky White and Casey White was. We're going to get a direct look inside the jail where he was basically broken out of jail by the Lauderdale County executive, the Assistant Director of Corrections. All right, Josh, go ahead, play it full screen. Just wanted everybody to know that, what we're going to see. If you could put it back to the beginning. Thanks, Josh.
Friday morning, the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Office says Assistant Director Vicky White told her coworkers she was taking inmate Casey White to the county courthouse for a mental health evaluation. Investigators say security video shows the pair never arrived at the courthouse and no evaluation or court appearance was even scheduled. Several hours later, White's patrol car was found abandoned in a shopping center parking lot less than a mile away from the detention facility.
We've gotten a couple of tips on a possible vehicle. We're still pursuing that.
CNN got a first-hand look at security procedures inside the detention center.
This is inside the detention center.
The sheriff says Vicky White actually violated protocol when she removed Casey White from the detention facility.
This is the hallway where the inmate will walk down, go through this door to a sally port where they'll be loaded into a car. Normally, it's 2 deputies per van, but this time it was just the deputy and the inmate.
The sheriff says since Vicky White is in charge of the detention center, no one questioned her. Investigators say they still have no evidence of a relationship between them.
We're still looking into that, reviewing phone calls, reviewing video from the jail.
The sheriff's office says last week, after about 2 decades with the department, Vicky White put in her retirement papers. Friday was supposed to be her last day.
I'd be surprised if we're still in Alabama. If she did this willingly, all indications are that she did. I guess we're trying to hold on to that last straw of hope that maybe for some reason she was threatened and did this under coercion. But absolutely, you feel betrayed.
Casey White was already serving 75 years for a rash of crimes. Next month, he's scheduled to go on trial on 2 counts of capital murder for the stabbing death of Connie Ridgway in 2015. Tonight, investigators are hopeful he'll soon be back behind bars.
Keep in mind that Casey White is a large individual. He is 6 feet 9 inches tall. He will stand out.
So there you have it. Again, that was a look inside the prison, inside the jail where he was being housed. And tonight we're going to get into it a lot more with Anthony Gangi and a few other correction professionals from Tier Talk. So that's going to be 8:30 p.m. I've linked that in the description. We already know, in addition to this this earlier briefing that we just watched here, the sheriff himself that we saw there speaking, Sheriff Rick Singleton, said that in a statement later this morning released that they interviewed several inmates who basically gave them information that Vicky and Casey were romantically involved. So this is big news in part of this investigation. Everything that led up to this, the months and weeks and days leading up to this event, and every kind of social media post that she's ever put or search she's ever done in Google, all of her phone records. Now this is a criminal investigation. So Vicky White is now a criminal. She's got an arrest warrant for quite a bit of charges. Actually, there's only one real big charge that is in this arrest warrant, and it's a felony, aiding and abetting, and breaking out somebody who's standing charged with capital punishment. He didn't even start his trial yet. It was starting in June. So in June, they were going to start a trial for this capital murder that he committed in 2015. That didn't even start, and that was one of the reasons why he was there, and he was going to be moved back and forth. There was also reports that he was shanked in the previous facility. He didn't want to go back there. There was some gang activity. There's a retired retired sheriff that gave a couple of interviews. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot here to talk about. This case, there's going to be so much evidence that's going to come out down the line. I don't think that Vicky was very smart about everything that she did, because this all takes advanced planning. It takes stuff that you have to do on paper. The liquidation of her home, taking a $200,000 home and putting it up for sale on an auction site and getting $91,000 or $95,000 for it, selling cars and liquidating stuff, moving in with her mother for the past 5 weeks. This is all behavior that's not normal, and not something for somebody who, is going to have a long-lasting career in the correction field. And she was an administrator. She had a high-level executive position. It's not like she was a grunt on the cell block. She was in charge of transportation. So she did everything that involved prisoner movement, and this, to me, is going to cut. It'll all come to light, everything that she did. Every bit of her searches, all of her Google searches, all of the things that she did are all going to come up, and it's going to be part of this investigation. But really, my question is how does the correction personnel in that facility feel right now? They let a high-level corrections commissioner get an inmate and transport an inmate by herself. An inmate that held police at bay and held hostages at gunpoint, has murdered people, and is standing capital punishment. This is a bad apple. This is a bad seed. And how, in God's name, do the corrections professionals say to themselves, yeah, I think we'll let, and she also complained. Let me just add one more thing that makes it even more bizarre. She said that she was not feeling well. If she didn't feel well to the point where after this is what she told them, that after she dropped him off at court, she was going to go to the hospital. If she was not feeling that well, even if it was just a regular doctor she was going to see, but she said she was going to go to the hospital or go to a medical facility. If a correctional officer is not feeling well, why would you let them go out with one by themselves with a prisoner? That doesn't make sense to me. Think about it. That just adds to more of the bizarreness of the whole thing is that she broke the protocol and everybody just accepted it because she's a big boss. But she also complained that she wasn't feeling right, that she wasn't feeling good. If that would, in fact, is true, we know that was probably part of her game, part of the story. But if she wasn't feeling good and she told somebody that, she obviously told somebody higher up, one of her bosses. She's not the end all boss. There's probably a couple of people above her as well. So why would somebody say, yeah, you know what, I think it's all right, Vicky, just, I know you're not feeling good. Why don't you take the biggest and tallest guy that we have and the most dangerous guy that we have in our jail? And the county jail is only, I think, 270 max population, prison population, 270 perpetrators, bad guys, bad, whatever you want to call them. It's in the 270s. So it's not a big facility, So it's crazy. There's so many different things that make you just go, it just doesn't make sense. So let me say quickly, thank you to the replay viewers. Thank you to all the moderators, Dawn Marie, Matty Boy Sully, Black Rose 11. Who else is here? Forsakes Alive, Gamer Guy. There's a lot of folks. I Love Labs is here. Thank you. Hi, Tina. Good to see you. Gamer Guy. And BB saying hello to Black Rose. Lauren McKenzie, great to see you. Yeah. Again, there's so many things and so many speculations and so many rumors that are going out there. I have to tell you this, the sheriff himself, you heard it straight from his mouth. Sheriff Singleton said on a few different occasions, we know that she perpetrated this crime. She planned this crime. And the theory of she was coerced and that she was scared into doing this is hogwash. It's nonsense. I don't buy it for a second. And you guys can call me what you want, say, oh, you're mean, you're callous. I don't buy into that bullshit. There is no way that a prisoner is going to intimidate a correction officer when she or he has the power of all the correction officers behind them. All right. There's no way that was going to happen. She did that willingly and knowingly. She put a plan together from the outside. Remember, he's locked up. She's not. He's locked down. She's not. So she had to do all of the planning for it, not him. So at the end of the day, folks, I don't buy into that bullshit. And I'm not going to buy into it. And you hear it first right here. Whether you like it or not, I know some of you guys won't like that I said this, but she planned it wholeheartedly, hands down. She did it without being coerced, without being intimidated. She freaking did it. And it's a hard pill to swallow for all our correction professionals. But guess what? I call a spade when I see it. I call this whole thing stinks to high heavens. And I'm not buying that this poor woman, poor Vicky was, no. DutyRon does not play that. If I was home in the studio, you guys would hear, oh, hell no. You'll hear that tonight. 8:30 p.m. Eastern, myself, I'm going to have probably Connie. You guys all know and love Connie. I invited Connie to come with us. Anthony Gangi from Tier Talk podcast. He is a corrections professional. He is still active right now, and he knows all about the correction system. Anthony Gangi has been kind enough to volunteer his time tonight at 8:30, and we're going to have another correction professional from the West Coast. So we're going to get a guy from the East Coast, Anthony Gangi. We're going to have another guy from the West Coast, and Connie from New York City Corrections. She's going to chime in on what they are. And you know what? The show is going to be great because we're going to get the perspective from active and retired correction professionals, people who work behind the wall and know about inmate intimidation. And they know about how inmates try to schmooze male and female guards and all of the different kinds of narcissistic and controlling behavior that inmates try to pull on correction officers. It's up to the correction officers themselves to be strong enough to not fall victim to it. And I'm unfortunately calling out that Vicky our perpetrator now, Vicky White, fell victim to it because of her own inner weakness, and that is a fact, and that's going to come to light. So again, much love and respect from my house to yours. Thank you to the replay viewers. Thank you to anyone who's given super chat. Haven't been paying attention closely to the comments, but thank you to my super chatters. Hey, I've been getting quite a few of super thanks. So some of the people who have been watching the replays have been kind enough to leave like a $2.99 super thanks. I think it's $1.99, $5.99, but whatever those tiers are, there's like only 5 of them. Some of you have been watching the replays and leaving super thanks. So thank you so much for that. You guys are awesome. And to all the new Patreon supporters, you guys are awesome too. Thank you. Ed and I really, really thank you guys a lot. Don't forget that tonight, I'm not going to get the sheriff on the phone because he's got his hands full. They got an investigation that they want to do. Let me just highlight that comment. Hold on a second. Hold on. Adonna says, why don't you try to get the sheriff on the phone? I wouldn't bother that man with a phone call from me. He's got his hands full. There's an active investigation that they are doing. Again, like I said, I am not here to try to hinder or hold up an investigation. I'm here to give you guys the law enforcement perspective and also the correction perspective, and that's what we'll do tonight. But thank you for that suggestion, Adonna. I'm sure that there's other YouTubers that would think that that's okay, but I don't think it's okay to do that. I'm not going to try to bother them when they have a crisis on their hands. They have a convicted murderer, a person who has taken other people's lives on the loose, and they have a major, major screw up that they have to try to make good on. So there's no way in hell that I would try to call that sheriff. Anyways, it's part of the brother and sisterhood. We're going to listen to Sheriff tonight. We're going to listen to his press conference that he held yesterday. Sheriff Singleton seems like a guy who's, got it. Like I said, he's got his hands full, but they have a job to do. And their job is to retrieve this criminal, this prisoner, and retrieve the new perpetrator, one of his own. And that hurts. That hurts tremendously. You heard him talk about our brothers and sisters in blue that are out there. And if they see this guy or her and they approach them, you need to use extreme caution. We heard the sheriff say, my brothers and sisters in blue across the United States, this is a dangerous, dangerous man who's in our society. He's a murderer, and he's a sick and cold-blooded killer. He's got nothing to lose at this time. So I pray and I hope that our brothers and sisters in blue out there, wherever they are, whether it's here in the United States or outside of the country, if they approach these or come in contact with them, I pray that nobody else gets hurt and none of our innocent civilians or law enforcement professionals get hurt in apprehending these perpetrators. All right, guys, thank you for the thumbs up. Guys, if you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button, hit that notification bell. I think someone gave a super chat. Let me go back and see. I'm scrolling for it because I want to say thank you if I could find it. Madon, single mom of 4. There you go. Thank you for the $5 super sticker. Much love to you. Thank you, single mom of 4, for always supporting Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace. For all of you who send these super chats and super stickers and Patreon support and becoming channel members, I love you guys. Rocky Pastorino's in the building. Thank you so much for joining, Rock. Tonight, again, don't forget, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you go over. I linked the broadcast in the description here. So if you go to the description of this video, you'll see the broadcast for tonight. You could go over, click on it, put on the reminder bell so you guys could get to see it tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Josh, thank you for doing some behind the scenes work for me. Always appreciate it. Alexandria, thank you so much for being here. Everybody, Alicia B, single mom, love you guys. Moonlight, thank you, Moonlight. Black Rose, I'm trying to highlight some of these questions. Yes, I'm going back to work. I love DutyRon. He accepts everybody. Thank you. Thank you. If they are in Mexico, Off-Grid Jack says the cartels will get them and take their $100,000 and bury them both. Oh, my. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh, my. Yeah, Mexico is a brutal place. It's a brutal place. All right, guys. let's rock and roll. Let's take us out. Much love from Crime Time with DutyRon. I'll see you tonight. Ed Wallace is busy teaching, so he will not be with us. It'll just be me, Anthony, and a couple of special guests. Thank you for joining. I hope to see you all tonight. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of this video. Make sure you watch some of these videos and these cards here, and like and subscribe, share the videos, hang out with us, leave me messages. Let's engage afterwards. God bless the world. God bless the United States of America, and God bless each and every one of us here in the chat, but especially all victims of crime and their families. We pray and send them strength, prayers, and positive vibes. Peace from New York. Watch these videos, and I'll see you soon.